Now it is summer in the Netherlands. It is 29 June 2024 and I found this solar lamp in my garden that I've made, by the way, in the past in this way. Perhaps it's interesting to show. Of course, you see here all kinds of corrosions, especially on the battery. Better said, it is an accumulator. So I hope it's visible from this distance. A lot of corrosion here. And say, moisture has eaten up the battery, has eaten up the board on which the electronics were mounted, etc., etc. So the question is always, what's the best idea to keep such a beautiful, by the way, beautiful mini solar panel with a inverter. In fact, we have here an inverter that is able to change the energy out of the solar panel, and that's not much. Say we have here 4 cells, and each cell gives out, say, 1.8 volts or so, perhaps 1 volt. So in the most ideal situation, in an enormous amount of sunshine, we have here, say, 4 volts or so, and it is stored in that battery here, nickel cadmium or nickel manganine, etc., etc. And there is, say, a bunch of LEDs. They are here. And the inverter, it's here. It's that tiny chip here. The inverter is able to, say, store the energy out of the solar cells into the batteries, and when it gets dark, it also has a function that it will switch on the LEDs, the LED unit, and that is this string here. So quite complicated here, and it looks very, very simple. And anyway, perhaps it is simple, I don't know that exactly, but of course we know that here inside this chip here, now in the middle of the screen, that black chip, there is a quite good and intelligent, in a certain way intelligent, of course it's automotive, but anyway, it's, sorry, not automotive, but it's automatic procedure, etc., etc. Say in a certain way baked into that chip anyway. So this, such a solar garden lamp looks as a very simple unit. They are thrown away by the thousands or the 10,000s, perhaps even the 100,000s when the nickel cadmium battery or so is depleted, was coming to its end time, or the switch here, for instance, this switch gets, say, an enormous contact resistance between its electrodes here. I cannot show them, but anyway, when you measure it, you'll surely see and find that there could be an enormous contact resistance that makes such a simple circuit, not simple circuit, to this function. Anyway, that's what I wanted to tell. Perhaps the solar panels are still okay. Of course, you see here, say, that the surface of that solar panel is not longer clear. Has everything to do with the ultraviolet rays of the sun. Say they in a certain way damage the plastic that covers the solar panel. Anyway, of course, this is a cheap garden lamp, and with professional solar panels you will surely not, in general, not meet that problem, that you get a kind of haze here, etc., etc. So could be that I have to polish it. On the other hand, could be that it makes absolutely no sense. But anyway, I'm going to say at first check the solar panel, whether it is able to give out its voltage. That must be approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 0.8 volts, so approximately 4 volts. And I hope that will work. And well, furthermore, there's not so much more to tell. Corrosion, etc. Say damages these circuits. You can surely see it here. An enormous damage of, say, classical iron rust. Can you, say, cure that? Well, it's possible, of course. You can, say, clean it all, clean also this surface, solder in another battery, another accumulator, another battery. But of course, for such a simple unit that costs approximately €2 in the Netherlands or in Europe, that makes absolutely no sense. So it's a throwaway circuit, and that is, in my opinion, not a good thing. When we are talking about environmental things, etc., etc. So, quite long video about such a simple thing as a solar garden lamp. When you take them apart, you often see these kinds of corrosions, but I had a solar garden lamp that has functioned for more than 12 years in the past, without corrosion, etc., etc. In a certain way, that was a high quality lamp. And as far as I can remember, there is a video of that lamp on my YouTube channel. So, what is the best thing to do? I've mounted it here in this glass jar with this cap here, and it's completely hermetic closed, but that also means that when moisture gets into that glass jar, it will, say, constantly bake the electronic circuit. So that's perhaps not a good idea. On the other hand, I also have made the same circuit with also a glass jar that now works for, say, 2 years or so. So that was more or less all to tell. Thanks for watching. Perhaps a sloppy video, but I hope to have given some insights in how you can get these lamps functioning. And a good idea is, of course, at first remove the switch. There's a switch here, on off, and it gets very easily corroded. say during the first year it's also so heavily corroded that it doesn't work any longer. Anyway, a quite long video for such a too simple thing.